Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm pulling back the curtains to show you exactly how I set up my Airbnb from scratch. So whether you're dreaming of becoming a host or just curious about the process, this video is going to be packed with everything you need to know, the tips, the tricks, and the little secrets that make hosting seamless and profitable. So before we dive in, let me share a little bit about my early Airbnb experience. So I bought a property and decided to use it for Airbnb because I kind of realized that living in a house just makes it more of a liability. Turning it into a money maker transforms it into an asset. So my thought process was simple. If I'm going to take out the biggest loan yet, which is a mortgage, I don't want to rely solely on my income to paying it off. And that's when I decided to join Airbnb. Some might ask, why didn't you just rent it out versus having to Airbnb it? Because when you rent, you're kind of limiting how much you can make in that month. So if I decided to rent it, I'll rent it for $1,500. But if I decided to Airbnb it or do short-term rentals, then I can make up to $3,000 in 1 month for that same property. So I decided to join Airbnb. So this is where it gets interesting. So I furnished and set up the Airbnb in just 3 weeks. All new everything. Let me tell you, there were a lot of DIYs because I was trying to save money on what was already a big investment. So I built the beds, the chairs, the tables, the kitchenettes. I installed wall panels. I staged the decor myself. I probably made like 50 trips to Home Depot because those 3 weeks, looking back, it was chaotic. But guess what? Very rewarding. One thing I would say is that the first experience for anything is always your best teacher. And I know my next Airbnb will go even much smoother because I've learned so much. So when I launched my Airbnb on the app, I got my first booking in less than 24 hours. Mind blown. And 3 more bookings in under a week. Like, I was impressed by this, okay? Shout out to Airbnb and me for all the hard work, okay? It paid off. Ultimately, it was not luck. It was all a strategic move that we can see played out really well. And in this video, I'll share everything I've learned to help you do the same, from finding the perfect property to creating a fully automated, contactless guest experience. Listen, I've got you covered. Grab a notebook, grab your pens, and hit that like button and subscribe button, and let's dive in. So first things first is finding the perfect property. Should you rent and sublet, or should you buy outright? So both options have pros and cons. Renting can be less expensive upfront, but buying gives you full control over customization and offers long-term investment potentials, equity, right? So I personally decided to buy my property because it's a long-term investment for me that I feel will build equity, and also it gives me full control over the space and also creates a steady stream of passive income, right? So when I was scouting properties, I focused on high demand areas, safe neighborhoods, proximity to attractions, business hubs, or places that have stunning views. Guests love convenience, so things like parking, nearby restaurants, or even just cozy neighborhoods can make your property stand out. So here's a major tip. Research local Airbnb regulations before committing to a property, because the last thing you want is to invest in a place you can't legally rent out, right? So since mine wasn't a new build, I even asked the builder if Airbnb hosting was allowed and if there were customizations I could make to really maximize the space. Now let's talk about furnishing. This is where the magic happens in my opinion, okay? The key is balancing style, comfort, and durability. So for my Airbnb, I went with a cowboy theme because when people visit Texas, they don't always get that experience of like the southern charm. You know, it's such a modern state now. So my Airbnb design brings a touch of that old school Texas vibe with good furniture, sturdy beds, neutral colors, cowboy pictures. It really just appeals to like a wide range of guests. So To kind of add like wow factors, I included artwork, plants, throw pillows. Very simple but very impactful. So when you come in, you kind of feel that southern hospitality in that Airbnb. But my advice here is splurge on things that matter, like quality mattress. People want a good night's sleep when they come. They want nice towels, they want clean sheets, they want soft sheets. Also, I think your statement decor pieces that create the ambience also should be splurged on. But for everything else, I just say shop wisely, okay? Stay within your budget and don't forget the essentials: fast Wi-Fi, coffee maker, extra toiletries, and the household basics. Okay, people want to have that when they come into your place. These little small touches can turn an ordinary stay into a 5-star experience. Automating with a smart lock. Automation is every host's best friend. My secret weapon was the Schlage keypad lock. Listen, this smart lock syncs directly with Airbnb to generate unique codes for each guest, which automatically expires after checkout. So you're not getting lost keys, no late night calls, and it's seamless for both you and your guest. You don't even have to interact at all when it comes to that. Investing in smart technology like this really helps to save time, reduces stress, and makes your hosting experience just go so much smoother. Trust me, I live it, I love it. All right, let's talk about how I built a contactless system to keep operations running smoothly. So one thing I wanted to do with my Airbnb was kind of make it automated where I don't even have to be present to be able to operate the Airbnb. So what I first did was I found a trusted cleaner and a handyman through like personal recommendations. For instance, my cleaner has worked with me for the past 3 years and she was thrilled for this new business opportunity. I trust her, she's great. So the great thing about Airbnb is Airbnb makes the guest cover the cleaning fees. So it's actually one less expense for you to worry about. So I set up a group chat to share my Airbnb schedule with my team so they always know when to step in. So for instance, my Airbnb turnover is really quickly, same day. So right on schedule, they get the communication of when the checkout is. They come in within a couple of hours to clean it up, and guess what? Because I have a smart lock, they're able to get in with their own special code that I have pre-programmed. So I know when they go into the Airbnb as well and when they've checked in to clean. And for the handyman, if I did have any issues or my guest had an issue, he knows he's on the clock. I let him know like, hey, I'm having a guest from the 17th to the 19th. So he then is staying available and making sure that he's able to keep some openings for me just in case anything arises. This system has been a lifesaver and keeps everything running smoothly without me needing to be there. Security. So security is a non-negotiable when you're hosting, okay? You want to make sure your property is safe and you also want to make sure your guests are safe, okay? So for me, I installed Ring outdoor cameras for property protection along with windows, doors, and glass shatter alarms, okay? We're keeping everything secured. Privacy is crucial, so cameras are only placed on the outside. Guests need to feel safe and comfortable and know that you're not recording them inside, okay? But for added protection, I invested in the Ring alarm kit with 8 pieces from Amazon, and it was an easy DIY installation, honestly. So pricing and list optimization. So pricing can make or break your bookings. Trust me, I've tested it, okay? I started with Airbnb's dynamic pricing, but it just didn't quite work for me because it wasn't putting me in a competitive state. So what I did was I just adjusted my rates to be slightly lower than my competitors around just to attract like bookings because a lot of people will go for the cheaper. I also added discounts to early and longer stays, and this strategy really paid off. I got my first booking within 24 hours of listing and 3 more in the same week. Granted, this was a big win for me. So pro tip, try to use high quality photos to showcase your Airbnb. Listen, if you have a good iPhone, you can take stunning 4K images yourself and save money on professional photography. I did not use professional photography, I used my iPhone. And when writing your listing, highlight unique features like proximity to attractions, modern amenities, or even special touches. And here's the secret: use ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT to polish your listing's description, okay? It's a game changer. Listen, AI is helping us tremendously, okay? So it's a game changer for optimization for sure. Return on investment. So Airbnb is an excellent way to maximize ROI. Unlike traditional rentals, short-term stays often generate higher monthly income, kind of like what I mentioned earlier. With the right location, the right amenities, and pricing strategy, you can cover your expenses and start seeing profits relatively quickly, all while building equity in your property if you bought it. So for me, with my current competitive pricing, 15 to 20 booked nights can cover a significant chunk of my mortgage, okay, if not all of it. And as demand increases, I plan to raise my prices, making the investment even more worthwhile. To make your Airbnb journey smoother, I've put together an ebook titled Airbnb Hosting for Beginners. This is the ultimate guide to passive income, perfect setup, and maximizing profits. It is filled with practical tips, personal stories, and step-by-step advice to help you start strong and feel confident about Airbnb. When I wrote this, I wrote it with you in mind, okay? I wanted to be the companion I wish I had when I started hosting as well. And when you read the book, you would see my Airbnb journey from scratch to success, the full length. It's been a learning curve, but with the right systems in place, hosting has been so rewarding. If you're thinking about hosting, I am here to support you, and with the right resources, you'll create a space that guests will love and cherish. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Airbnb advice. I'm planning to do a series, so if you got questions, please share them in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out the ebook for a deeper dive into successful hosting. Thanks for watching and happy hosting. Bye.